Episode of Top 5 Live. You already know what it is. This is Morgan Iverson. My big bro, Javon, uh, to my right on the screen.
That's
Uh,
Javon Stokes. If you didn't hear it, his internet is whack. Sorry.
wow. Wow. And I thought we were doing good.
No, we were. I just had to do that.
Danny is coming. He's going to be a little bit late. For those of you guys who didn't see the promotional video we did yesterday to try to promote the escape room that Danny's wife so hardly worked over, to get done at the studio that we have in Burlington, North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, you have to come see it. It's amazing. I'm extremely proud of them, man. Like that crap is super, super, super dope. Like I can't wait to go and I wish I had been there tonight, with the group that came through there. So I'm very excited for him. Hope it brings a whole bunch of money. We got a whole bunch more promos to shoot for it. So tonight we're doing the top 5 college movies all time. We're not putting a date range yet. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to do all time, and then we'll either come back to these lists later or we'll just break them down into decades or whatever. There's plenty of ways. Um, I'm very excited about my list because all the movies on my list I love for one reason or the other one. Or either I love it or I was very pleasantly surprised by it. Um, and but before we get to that, um, I don't know if Javon. I don't start, bro. Like, do you want to start with the slander? Do you want to start with movie review? Like, we might be able to talk about the slander till Danny gets on. Go to movie review.
I think Danny wanted to talk about the slander though. I
Yeah.
think he
Okay.
did. So
Uh,
we all right. We could talk about Top Gun.
okay. So you want to talk about Top Gun? Well, we could do Honk.
No, I don't want to get in the honk. I don't want to get in the honk
All right.
because I'm okay with doing like a Top Gun because we could stop that when Danny come on. But
All
if
right.
we get in the honk, like I'm gonna like really want to get into it.
All right. So when we're saying that, we're talking about Hunt for Jesus, Save Your Soul, and the movie that just dropped this past weekend, Brown and Regina Hall. I very much so enjoyed it. I think it's a film that many people need to see, especially those of us in the black church. Uh, the black church, I should put that in quotes. The black church. Very, very, very powerful movie. Funny too, of course. Regina Hall's in it is definitely but very powerful. And so we'll get into a conversation about that a little bit later. Right now, we'll talk about Top Gun because Javon and Danny finally saw it. After I've been talking about this movie for like maybe
Bruh, I
3 months,
told you,
they
I
finally
was
saw it.
going to see it when it's free 99. I was very clear and very specific with that. I got nothing against Top Gun. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to get around to it. But I will say this: I thought it was really good. I thought it was a great movie. Actually, it was entertaining. Mind you, my thoughts of the movie, I missed parts of the dialogue because I have a 3-year-old son who
Mm-hmm.
loves attention, but
Mm-hmm.
I got the gist of it. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the movie. I did think, like, just my opinion, and Morgan's gonna hate me for this, but I feel like everybody overhyped it for me. And so, like, it was a matter of like, oh my gosh, it was the greatest movie ever, like, greatest action movie I've ever seen. And I'm sitting here like,
It's up there.
nah, I don't even know if it's up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's me and I've seen jet movies before. Like like I'm not putting it down. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the movie.
You
I
lied
will
to
say
yourself.
though, I'm gonna say this though. I feel like this is like the one of the first movies I really started to see Tom Cruise's age.
Okay.
Like the makeup couldn't hide it. Like I don't know if they weren't going for that or what, but you could see his age. Like he looked his age in this movie. Like in some of the Mission Impossible movies, he slide a little bit. They're very good, people who do what they do there. But I don't know if they wanted it, if that's what they were going for.
I think
But
they were. I mean, think about how many times he gets called old timer, or
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying. I think they were going for that. It's Tom. It's Tom. I mean, Tom Cruise, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that could apply mounds of makeup to make Tom Cruise look. Tom Cruise.
I was genuinely, I mean, I was genuinely surprised. I mean, can we talk spoilers now or should I wait? I don't know if I should do that.
Bruh, if they ain't seen Top Gun by now,
All
yeah,
right, well, earmuffs, Shark, earmuffs. I was genuinely surprised that nobody died.
it was beautiful. But
Um,
they did a great job. They did a great job with multiple scenes that, like I said, that movie is up high for me is because one, everybody knows I love movies, right? Um, I love
you
movies. I
love
go to the
new
movies all the
movies.
time. And I have seen plenty of movies, and I've seen a lot of movies in the theater. I have never been on the edge of my seat like I was for that movie. Not ever. I've never watched a movie. Now, there's a difference. Edge of my seat and what's the word I will use? Uneasy might be another word. When I watch Hereditary, that's the most uneasy I've ever felt watching a movie in my life. I didn't know what to think or feel. Top Gun had me like just nervous, nerve wracked, hoping. Every emotion that you want to feel at a movie, I felt watching that movie. Emotional, action, hope, fear. It was awesome. Like every aspect. Like one of my favorite scenes of the freaking training scene was, bruh, when he goes because he's supposed to get canned. He ain't flying no more, and he goes to fly 215. Oh my god, bruh, that crap. The action scenes are perfect. I can't think of anything that could have been better. Uh, the the flipping with him and Rooster, freaking amazing. Like because legit, when his point came where he saves Rooster, that could have happened. Like that could have been it. You know what I mean? So when I was in the theater, when that happened, I was literally like, "Oh man," because we think we're writers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about it from that perspective, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you write him out of the movie? And to be honest with you, in that moment, it's a perfect time to do it, especially for a sequel. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be his declaration that because you could have Top Gun without Maverick. You know what I'm saying? That could be. There's a whole bunch of ways you can work that. Like this is Top Gun. You could have had the next Top Gun and it not be Top Gun Maverick. It could be Top Gun Rooster because we met Rooster this time, and now Goose's son is getting ready to live his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like this or Hangman. It could be Goose and Hangman, like whatever. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing about that movie that wasn't perfect. And like I said before, when I was talking to Danny, what I will say about that movie as an action movie is that there is no movie that I can put against Top Gun and say that it's definitively better. I cannot. And I love
You don't think John Wick is better than Top
no,
Gun?
absolutely not. No, it's great. They're both great, but it's not better than Top Gun. I cannot say John Wick again. You know how much I love John Wick, but I can't say it's just outright better than Top Gun. No way, because there's elements of Top Gun that John Wick can't touch, especially the emotional component. It can't. It's not. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? There's no way for it to connect the way that Top Gun did emotionally. There's no way. So John Wick can't touch it on that level. When it comes to
Maybe,
action scenes, John Wick best fighting action scenes ever, especially the gunplay. The gunplay is what sets John Wick apart. But the flight scenes in Top Gun, the dog fights, it there's no action in that movie that's not fantastic. Not any of it.
I
So
didn't. I never said. I'm just. I want to make sure everybody understands that I enjoyed the movie. Movies that college theme movies,
yeah,
college
the college
movies
thing
that
movie. A
were
movie
college.
that either
Yeah,
they're attending college
Amani, you
or
know what a college movie man is. Come on, man.
he just being messy, bro.
Why you being that way?
He just being messy because I'm here.
All right,
Mama
so
like to tell me.
I want to get into the so okay, I'll try and set this
Get
up,
into what?
and I'm gonna put this link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Oh, the slander.
Yeah, let's get into that.
We
Denny
better-
taking forever, man.
Let me put the current topic up. Make
All
sure
right,
it's understood.
So I think this topic is a lot broader than just the slander of Afua. Um, I think so. For those people that aren't paying attention, Afua posted a picture of a drawing that she did at, where were they? Dragon Con. So she posted a picture up at Dragon Con, and it's other artists, Jason Pearson, and I'm calling out names because this stuff is easily found. Um, he went under her page and basically said, and I want to make sure I quote because I don't want nobody saying I misquoted or nothing. Um, Basically, hold on. Yeah, so he replied in thread in her thread about how awful new artists like Afua were, compared her to his work on X-Men, which he posted and said, no, don't come into my industry without being vetted. Even at the lowest of the ranks in this industry, I earned my place the hard way. You did.
Wait,
Which,
what?
yeah. So then he went on to post uh he went on to post this long rant saying, I'm tired of wannabe outsiders joining up in my comic book industry without earning it, never being through the ups and downs, the ins and outs, claiming they are one of us because comic book movies are popular nowadays. Please, I go back to the days when comic books weren't popular and I had to fight boys and be ridiculed by girls because I still had comics in my backpack. When one had to put his rage down on paper, pencils, whatever, and computers in the early days to settle themselves down while everyone else is laughing at you. I ain't scaring you off, newcomers. Don't be scared. Join the club if you're true to storytelling and not because of popularity. I'm a nobody in the pop culture of comics, but earn yours through sincerity before you claim you're better. Song from my family. I don't, whatever. But anyway, that's what he posted.
He
And
posted this
then,
on her post.
no. This, after he did his thing with her, he went and made that long rant on his page.
So the first comment he
The
put
first
on her
comment was
picture.
under hers.
Oh, he better be glad I wasn't there, sir.
What I just read was under his, and then under there, him and the fool went back and forth, and there were some things that he said. You know, there was one point where he insinuated that she basically she basically got where she is because of her looks. So I wanted to talk about real quick. Number one, as everyone said on the thread, a fool's been doing this for a long time. Yes, read the thread. If you see it, you roll your eyes just like I did.
Nah,
Fool's been doing
this
this for
dude's
a
gonna get it.
long time. She said 17 years.
This dude's gonna get it.
Yeah, but there were a lot of people who came to jump to his defense. My problem with what he said, and I'm going to speak to him from me, and I actually responded under his thread. I honestly don't feel like going to find what I said, but basically my point was, I'm 41 years old. I was reading comics in elementary school, and I was getting made fun of. I don't know about the whole girls didn't like me. I ain't never had that problem. So if that's your problem that you had, I'd be shocked if it had anything to do with comic books. I'm just gonna be honest with
His name so I can see if he's ugly.
you. Don't do that. But anyway,
On now.
so what I put for him was, I got a hard time reading comic books. How do I feel about, say, my daughters or my son being able to read comic books in school and not get insulted by or made fun of? And honestly, I'm cool with it. I'm happy that they can read that stuff in peace and not be made fun of. Like, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that people can do what we used to get made fun of before now and feel in a safe space. Um, as for somebody, coming in the industry and paying your dues, to me, honestly, I don't really care about how dues are paid. If you come into the industry and you did your first comic and it was a smash hit, you paid your dues. Who cares? Who cares? Like, you be in the industry years or what doesn't make you better than somebody who been in the industry 5 years. I've been doing comics for like since 2015. I am by no means an old dog in this thing, but I'm not gonna make fun of somebody who been doing it. Like I've met guys that who've been doing comic books for 2 years. We all in the same industry together. We're all in a niche industry together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so to call out people for anything, like I don't even care. I've seen people's artwork that I wasn't a fan of, but who cares? Like, what does it favor me to go? That's not good. To give unasked for an unasked for critique. How does that make me look good? So, but him attacking her about paying her dues is like the wrong person.
Yeah, it is.
Like I'm sorry, like I don't know Jake. I mean, I'm friends with him on Facebook. We might have spoken once or twice, so I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know him on any level. Like we've never spoken in person. But I think I would tell him, you know, like we all have journeys. We all have different journeys. It doesn't matter how long each of us took to get to our goal. What matters is we get there. And like you shouldn't put somebody down just because he is he's black. Yes, he's black.
I
There
got time for.
I just think that there's a lot of people who feel that they need to gatekeep the industry. Like, nah, this is mine. You weren't here before the Marvel Universe movies. Who gives a who cares, dude?
Or because
Who cares?
you didn't see their struggle. That I want to let you finish your point before I go into this, but
I don't care. Like if you watch the Marvel movies and it made you want to pick up a comic book, good for you. Welcome.
this dude's
Welcome.
freaking lame, yo.
Like welcome. Like it doesn't. Who cares if I got bullied because I was reading comic books back in 1990? Like who cares?
Who comes at a fool?
Like therapy is available, man. Take care of take care of those feelings that you felt with, and then go on about your business. But attacking this incredibly talented woman who has paid her dues in this industry and is reaping the benefits of paying said dues, like and she's good too. Like that's the crazy part. Like HBO doesn't approach you to give your artwork on a major TV show if you weren't good. Like people don't just come to you if you're not good at what you do. Like that's just my my point. He we all gonna have our own opinion. He gonna have his opinion. He's more than welcome to come holler at me. I tell him the same thing, like with all due respect. Yeah, a Eisner Award winner. Like I tell him the same thing, dude. Like you came for the wrong one, and you shouldn't be coming for nobody. It's not your industry, dude. You didn't make it. You don't get to determine who comes in, who reaps the benefits, who's good, who's not. Like, I mean, I know who you are, but like there are many people who read comments that don't know who you are, and that's just the point. I'm a baby in this. There are plenty of people that don't know me. There are plenty of people that do know me. Who the hell am I to tell somebody that they need to pay their damn dues to do a comic book? Man, make your comic book. Stop that. I could have been harsher, but I felt like Morgan was going to be harsher, so I was like, let me play good cop.
Yes. So I wanted to let you finish before I got into this. I want to let you finish before I got into this, and I wanted to make sure you got, everything off your chest before I got into this. But I'm going to read this.
Oh, I didn't get everything, but I'm going to let you go.
I'm going to read this exactly how I see it. I could tie it to another subject, but I won't. We'll wait for that conversation. This young man, old man, whatever it is either on drugs or needs drugs. to come for Afua Richardson in any capacity is retarded. So I'm assuming that he's not a retarded person if he's been working for, what I'm saying, these big, corporations and industries or whatever. And even a person that has mental issues, I'm not saying retarded as in a negative way. I'm saying something is wrong with the functioning of your brain to come for a fool in any capacity. Like, who does that? A fool is one of the best. I've said this on this show before when she wasn't even present. I've said it to others that I've seen. Afua has one of the most beautiful spirits. She has an aura that's around her, bruh. And when people have that type of spirit, type of aura, people take from it, but don't realize when they need somebody to give to them as well. She's been through a lot. And the problem that this dude has, number one, is because he struggled and he didn't struggle. So unless you see her struggle, she doesn't count. She needs to stay outside. And it's another one. It's another one of these things where you're trying to shush a woman and trying to reduce her work and saying that she gets the work because she's attractive. Are you serious? So are you saying every other woman artist that's worked with Marvel, DC, and all these other shows, all of them are ugly? A fool, she's the outlier. Is that what you're saying? I mean, what are you saying? A fool's artwork is not good. It does not make sense at all. She literally worked on Love. They didn't just pull her name out of a freaking ad. It's Afua Richardson, Lovecraft Country. Her name is literally immortalized in the show. They literally said her name in that an artist named Afua taught me in the show. And you got the nerve to come for her and talk trash. I could see if this was a person that was. I know some artists borderline, right? And by borderline, I mean, what I'm saying, they're good artists, but being personable, being kind, being courteous, being humble, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that trait. They don't have that skill. Afua carries that in ways that she shouldn't even have. She shouldn't have to. But when I don't care who you are as a person, if you come around Afua Richardson, she's gonna give you the nicest smile. She's gonna take pictures. She's gonna hug you. Her exploits she could walk around with an attitude that she don't have to do none of that. I have never seen her do that. I've never heard about her doing that. So,
bro, can I interrupt? I'm gonna interrupt because I want to add on to that. Let me tell you about this woman, Afua, and I've told this story on more than one occasion. The first time I met her, she treated me like she'd known me for years. And then when I saw her again at Dragon Con, she made a point. My wife wanted to know. She gave me a free piece of artwork to give to my wife because she knew my wife was pregnant at home. The next time my wife saw her, I was after we had my son at Dragon Con. My wife said, "Let me go talk to her." Soon as she went over there, she treated her like she know her forever, gave her more free artwork. She like the nicest person, and that's the one you decide to come for. Go ahead.
That's the biggest reason. Like, that's why I put the topic up being what it is. The slander of Queen Afua that we will not tolerate.
But it's bigger than that, though. It's
you're right.
Gatekeeping bullshit. I'm cursing now. I'm getting angry.
He was the type of you can't gatekeep something you don't own. He owns nothing. Owns nothing. You don't own Marvel. You don't own any of the companies that you've been working for talking about paying your dues. If you owned it, maybe somebody listened to you. But maybe you haven't listened to 444. Maybe you haven't listened to Jay and the rest of these black successful people that's out here that go past working for somebody else. And since you made your bones, since you had to struggle for it, why didn't you do something to own it of your own? Do something yourself. Now that you can gatekeep that, you can gatekeep that section. And
he has an independent book called Body Bags.
Don't nobody give a crap.
That's it.
Nobody
want to gatekeep body bags, knock yourself out, man.
Yeah, he can gatekeep the crap out of that. But nobody cares. After this statement coming for Afua, again, it would be different if this was a borderline artist. And I explained earlier what I mean by somebody that, maybe they had a bad day. Everybody's entitled to a bad day.
It wouldn't be different.
I'm not trying to judge.
It wouldn't be different.
It really wouldn't be. Why are you coming for anybody? That's my thing.
But this is a difference to me. It is one thing when you Americans are crazy about pets, right? One of the reasons that Americans are crazy about pets is because they can't defend themselves. It's one thing if you're coming for a dog that sometimes bites, you know what I'm saying, or sometimes mean or whatever. But a dog that's always happy, playful, in your face, loving you, and all that type of stuff. Nobody wants to see that type of dog hurt at any. I'm just making that as a side
This is a
point to
terrible
say, like,
analogy.
we have a infatuation with pets and
This is
this
a
thing. That's
terrible
not true.
analogy. This is a
No,
terrible analogy.
I'm,
We gotta move. We gotta leave it. We gotta
I'm
leave this
only saying,
analogy. I
I'm
feel
only
you, but we
I'm
gotta
only
leave it.
saying it from
I
the
know, but we
infatuation
gotta
that
leave that
people in
analogy.
America have with pets
Terrible
is
analogy.
weird, right? I'm only saying, you don't attack good people that have always shown themselves to be good. And literally I've never heard anybody ever say anything negative about a fool in my life anywhere. And I've been around her multiple times. I've talked to her multiple times, both online, on shows, and in person. She's one of
But
the
it's just
nicest people that exist.
it's this bull. You know what it is? It's the same stupidity that we're dealing with with like the student loan forgiveness. This idea that because I have to because I suffered, somebody else should
Yeah,
suffer too.
I agree. I agree.
And it's like, oh, because I was bullied and because I had to work, like I was there and I had to work extra hard to get to where I'm in the industry, you should have to work extra hard too. And the truth, like I said, everybody don't get into this industry the same way. Jim Shooter, Jim Shooter literally was 14 years old and got hired by DC Comics to write a comic book at 14 and got paid for it. That he didn't, that's not struggle, but he made it into the industry. He got there that way. Like everybody don't get there the same way, and everybody doesn't get into comics the same way. They
Rob Liefeld went the first half of his career never drawing a foot, and and
trying to
they,
get us in trouble.
bruh, and they dang on, and he a legend now. He a legend. I mean, people still
It's
give him grief for that, but
A fool is a legend right now.
yeah,
Another reason he
like
need to shut the f up.
it's really ridiculous that we can't just just give people they let people make it in their own way. I mean, like eventually I want to write some stuff for Marvel and DC. Like I won't create characters for them, but I want to write a project. Like I got a dream to write. I want to write Green Lantern. I want to write a Green Lantern story. I want to write Deadpool. Like I want to do those things. But I ain't gotta do the conventional. I don't have to move to LA or New York to earn my, I don't, nah, man. It's different. It's 2022, man. Like
Yeah, he's
there's
jealous. He
different
is
ways to
jealous.
present this stuff.
He's probably ugly too, to be honest with you. But I'll look in a little while and make
And
and make
the
sure.
problem that I have is that I went after Javon shared it, and I went to his page where where his post is still up. There's people defending the
yeah,
ignorance with, oh, he's bipolar, so such and such. Nah, man, it's past. Nah, get help.
bro. I'm
Get
so
your own help.
tired.
Are
I'm
they
so
ugly
tired of
too?
people using that
Get
stuff
your
as an
help.
excuse.
If you bipolar, if I know in your comments that you're bipolar, you need to have enough self awareness to get help, so you're not lashing out and hurting other people with your sickness.
Especially a fool.
It's past that, bro. It's past that.
But this isn't. I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna be wrong, but I'm a little annoyed.
Say it.
But
I'm
this
gonna
ain't
back it.
even this ain't even like bipolarness. This is you telling us an opinion. Like you sat down
A
and
stupid
typed
opinion.
this. You sat down and typed this ish out. Like
Hmm.
everything. This is my thing, and I've said this over and over again. Not everything is mental health. Not everything is a
Amen.
mental health problem.
Preach.
Y'all got to stop attributing everything. Oh, well, he's depressed. That ain't depression, dude. That's just sometimes people are asses.
You cannot. Well, even if it, but like Danny just said, even if it was, it's
Marty
your
wants to come
responsibility.
in.
You
Somebody
Yes.
send money to link.
I'm so tired. Honestly, I'm so tired of being in the industry where it ain't like all of us are making billions. We ain't all making millions of dollars. And there are people that are trying to prevent people from coming in the industry. Like, if you listen, I've had the same argument about diversity all the time. If anytime I have a discussion with somebody about anything, and one of your problems with it is diversity, I'm gonna stop talking to you because you're stupid.
I agree.
I want more women. I want more girls. I want more people in the LGBTQ community. I want more Indians. I want everybody reading everybody. We should want this.
So,
and there are people out there that are like, nah, this is mine, and I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna hold on to it. And I'm just like, dude, it ain't yours, man.
Him being a black man makes it exponentially worse to me, to be honest with you.
And that's the other thing. Like, dude, how many black women do you know in the industry right now?
Exactly.
I'm struggling. I'm trying to find a black artist, a black female artist to do Strong. I'm trying to find one.
Me too. I was trying to get somebody to do Harlem.
And you gonna sit
I
here
have one, but I can't talk about it.
And you gonna literally go after one of the ones that made it to the point where she a name, dude. Bruh.
Oh, snap. I thought Imani came through with the black hoodie on and everything. I said, oh snap, my
Bro, I'm so sick and tired of these people who seem to think that they own comics and they own the industry. You don't know nothing, dude.
Bruh, again, talking trash about a fool Richardson will not be tolerated in my presence ever. So I just want to make sure that's clear. So just so if anybody else gets any stupid ideas, you know what I mean.
I'm glad he
I
got real angry. I got real angry. I was real calm, and then Morgan got me riled up.
Hey, listen, I apologize, but that dude pissed me off, and I ain't even read it yet, so I don't even know.
Don't read it, dude. It's gonna make.
That's what I'm saying. If I read it, I'm probably gonna like try to find this dude's, you know what I mean, like personal information and see what's up, and you know what I mean, like reach out to his family, like, hey, is he taking his pills, or like what do we need to do here to help him not slander a fool Richardson? Because that's not gonna be tolerated.
Start GoFundMe for my man.
Yeah,
what you gotta say, Imani? What you gotta say, man?
Go ahead, Imani.
I'm pissed. It's interesting. I just made a post. I just made a post about women in comics, black women specifically. Okay. And I want to give some historic perspective on this because the timeline that I have posted on my website, if you go to blackcomicsuniverse.com, I literally just did this yesterday. In the timeline, you'll see the first black woman in comics was around 1950. Okay. And this is important. This is in the context of this. This is why I'm so upset. The first woman to work for DC Comics was in 2009. Okay. So there's a 40-year gap where women aren't in the industry, black women specifically. Okay. And then you wonder why this is the case, because it's not like there aren't black women that aren't artists, there aren't black women that can't write. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
It's not like these black women aren't capable. It boils down to the fact that this industry is not conducive for them. They find it don't take much, and not just black women, but black people in general. I think after so long, they find success other places. There are names of black artists that most people don't even realize that have a long, like the dude talking about paid dudes that have paid their dues. And they said the hell with it, and they go to Hollywood and they go into animation, they go into game design, and then they make their money, and they don't know how to deal with the BS.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why there's a 40-year gap. A fool Richardson comes into this 2 years before the first black woman works at DC. Her book comes out through Image Comics 2 years before the first black woman that's recognized as somehow the first black woman professionally working in the industry. She beats her by 2 years. This is the person we're talking about. Okay. She turns around, and then within 10 years' time, all these black women in the early aughts, all these black women kick butt. And you talk about the reality is it's not about paying dues. The reality is that these talented women come in and comparatively to the men in the industry, they outperform them, and that's what pisses them off. It's not so much. It's not the fact that she didn't pay her dues. It's the fact that a fool Richardson can do what you did, what you claim to have done in 20 years. She was able to pull it off in 5.
And you had
and the crazy
if that
Tiny
makes you
penis
mad,
energy.
cool. But let me tell you something. It's not because of her beauty. It's not because of none of that stuff. It's because of the work that not only she is putting into the industry. It's because of a ton of other black women are investing time and resources into pop culture that you don't even realize. There are bloggers. There are black women bloggers out here. There are black women artists and writers. There's a reason why they're pulling talent from science fiction writing.
Yeah.
And then they come in and writing award-winning books. You see what I'm saying? And it's like it's not by coincidence or accident. This is like black women are just like that. They come into a space, they don't waste no time.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't waste no resources.
When they kick in the door, they kick in the door.
When
Man.
they kick in the door, they kick in the door.
Because
They
it's
kick in
not
the
it's
door.
not
If you
just
look at my timeline. You'll see what, like when they enter the years, it doesn't take 2 or 3 years after they come into the industry. Iron Circus, Spike Trotman, record-breaking Kickstarters. Her first Kickstarter, she made $83,000.
Spike killing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Killing it. They're making millions of dollars on Kickstarter. They saying bump this industry because of BS like this.
Because it's not just
it's just sad though, because it's like it is a black dude. Like honestly, I would feel better if it was a white guy saying this. Like real talk, I would feel better if it was a white guy saying this. But this is a black. Come on, man. Listen.
That's what makes it the worst.
There aren't even a lot of black. There aren't even a lot of black people in the comic book industry within like the big two. Let's just talk about the big two, because in the indies, we all know a ton of us. We all out here, right? We all out here. But in the indies, like even in the 80s and the 70s and the 80s, it was like two. It was like 2 or 3 black dudes that was doing work in the 70s and 80s. And it was Christopher Priest and wow, I forgot his name. I feel so bad. He did The Question and Hardware.
Dennis Cowan.
That was it.
No, but that's the crazy part. Cats like, here's what's deep about cats like Jason Reeves, right? The reality is, in a weird sort of way, he's passing. And I'm gonna explain why. Because if you're thinking about, you mentioned like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. There were actually a lot of black artists back there. And
not in the 80s.
The reality it's like,
not in the 80s, not in the big two though.
I can give you a list. The reality is they did not market their race. They did not put it out there. They did not put their names out there. But I can give you a list of working black artists back then. It's like it's not a huge list. No, it's not a huge list at all.
Right, okay. My bad. I thought you were saying there was a long list.
No. It's not lengthy, but they were working. Like Keith Pollard, for instance, who worked on Spider-Man.
Keith Williams. Yeah. Okay.
You had Dwayne. You had Dwayne, who worked on Cage, that came out in the 90s.
Turner.
Dwayne Turner. You have MD Bright. The people don't even realize it was black unless you really look and dig.
I think MD Bright is white.
No, he's black. He worked on Milestone. He worked a lot with Christopher Priest. I got the Milestone. I got the Milestone.
I feel like I just went through. No, dude, MD Bright is a white guy.
I got the Milestone trading card. MD Bright is black. Look,
I'm looking at the guy right now. I'm looking at the picture of the guy. He's a white guy.
Nah, not that's not him.
Okay.
I promise you. MD Bright is black. But that's what I'm saying. Because they don't make a point. You're like, how many years did you go by not knowing that Koipo was black? You see what I'm saying? So it's what happens is what I believe has happened is that Nah, I'm tripping, but there's a
MD Bright is white, dude. I literally had this
MD Bright
conversation
trading
before.
card out there. Hey, maybe
Sorry,
it's another
bro.
MD Bright. All I
Nah.
know is.
But anyway, go ahead.
But well, Milestone lied to me. But what I think is interesting is that there's an old guard of black artists that worked in the industry, and I bet you that they feel a lot like this dude.
You think so?
Because I think a lot of new heads came into this industry recently. That no, they don't seem like they paid the dues that they paid, and most of the dues is that they weren't brought in to there's a crop of new artists that have come in since the 2000s, since the height of right. Thank you. Um, um, the because there's a new crop of artists that have come in the light of say like Black Lives Matter and all this kind of stuff. All this talk about diversity that's been taking place over the last 10 years. They didn't bring the old artists in on those books. They brought new writers, they brought new artists, the whole 9 yards. And what's odd is they would have never took those books on. They would have never took
Right.
those black books on. These
He
black
looked,
artists
he
would
looked
have
black
never.
on this card. I'm gonna say he looked black on this card. I don't.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. I don't know.
he looked black on this card.
That's
White
pretty
in
black
real
to
life,
me. But anyway, maybe
he looked black on
If
this card.
if nothing else, that's the MD. That's the bright I'm talking about. I don't know about the other bright, but so the thing is that I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few other black old heads that feel that way because they never put
Yeah,
their
but you
name
know,
out. They never put their face out there on anything to say, "Oh, I'm a black artist doing X, Y, Z."
yeah, but
And it's sort of like,
you're
but like what's so beautiful about a fool, and it gives her an advantage is that now when it's like blackness is in demand, she can be in these spaces and be unapologetically black. Where somebody an old head like Jason Reeves, he has to pass. He's been passing. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been put in. He don't say he's doing a black comic book. None of it. He has a black owned book, but you wouldn't know that's a black comic book character. You wouldn't know he was black unless you had a conversation with him. You can't find him. You can't find it up on a Wikipedia post or anything like that.
But from what I
You have
seen,
to
the book
surmise
is the
when you
book
see
even
him.
out?
When you
His book was really popular in the 90s.
he recently did what's interesting about that y'all posted a Bleeding Cool article. He has a
Yeah.
Kickstarter that hasn't been fulfilled yet since 2015. He was relaunching body bags, is what at least based on the article. All that to say, I think he might represent like a few old black heads that might feel that way because this whole idea of like for instance, like a full one for Black Panther when you see Black Panther Ward of Wakanda that she won an Eisner Award for, that was two black women, the first two black women to work for Marvel were on that book. You see what I'm saying? And so you had like a ton of creators that came into the space where they could be unapologetically black. You know what I'm saying? That everything about us is like it's sort of like they don't have to hide or not to like shy away from the black characters or the black books and all this other kind of stuff. So like this dude does because you know what I'm saying, he had opportunity to come out with a black book, a black character, but it's sort of like it's just this this racially ambiguous character or like the character or like the one of his characters wears a mask. You don't know his race. You know what I'm saying?
And what's crazy is like I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't know to do it. Like I didn't know who he was. So I went and looked at his page and I thought like some people in the comments thought that he was a white guy, like you said. And just based on the photos, not doing any real deep, whatever, but people in the comments were adamant, no, this is a black guy you talking about. He knows what he's talking, and they're defending him and using his blackness as validation for what he's saying. And I'm like, that don't make you right because you because you're black, you can still be wrong. Like you can be black and wrong also. That's very much possible. Javon does it every week. He's always black and
Exactly.
wrong.
Javon and Danny are pros.
See, Danny, how you go? Wait. Danny, how you gonna be late for me? How you gonna be late for the show? You come for me, sir.
I was at work.
No.
I was at work.
No.
I was at work.
I don't want to
I was
talk
at
about
work.
that.
So
Morgan got his one.
Just to be clear.
But like I said, I just wanted to talk about
Justin Tide.
I wanted to talk about it because I get really tired of the gatekeeping. I get really tired of the I had to struggle, so you got to struggle mentality.
yeah, it's just ignorant.
We supposed to be making it easier for the people who are after us. Like as a parent, my job is to make it a little easier for my kids to be more successful.
I'm not
doing
all of this work so that my kids can also do the same work. That don't make no sense. Like
I mean,
they still got work to do. They're gonna do their work, but they don't got to do my work. I'm doing my work,
right?
So that they don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I respect Jason Pearson for what he's done in the industry. Like I'm gonna keep it real. I respect what he is accomplished in the industry. I give him his props. Like you are a vet in the industry. You were there at Image, when Image was at its infancy. Like you put in the work. You worked on X-Men. You worked on everything. That's great, dude, and more power to you. But that does not make you the be-all, end-all of who belongs in the industry. And like I said, dude, like therapy is right there, man. It's right there. Like if you really still struggling about being bullied in school, about reading comics and not being able to get ladies in comic because of you was reading comics, therapy is right there, dude. Like
man. Like I had the same conversation on TikTok. Like we thought, and it's weird because I'm married to a black woman, right? And my wife is the most honest. She gonna tell me if something is wrong, right? And black women are like that. They're gonna express to you because they care about most black women care about our culture, right? So I'm in middle school and I'm literally okay. I'm in the comics, I'm in the anime, I'm in the cartoons and stuff like that, right? But I'm also not brushing my teeth regularly. Like I'm also coming to school with the same pair of pants on 3 days in a row. And if a black woman tells me, bruh, like your breath stink. Like if she tells me my breath stink, it's not because I like anime. It's not because it's not because I'm into Pokemon. It's probably because my breath stink. Like, and that's not to be, that's not to say black women don't like me. Obviously, black women I got a black wife. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, but if I can't accept the harsh truth from my sisters that okay, I need to brush my teeth more. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not on them, that's on me. That's something personal I need to see. So if you saying I had to struggle and I had to do all this and all this, maybe it was you. Like maybe it was you. Like
I have never in my life,
you know what I'm saying?
I've never in my life had a woman tell me I'm not going to date you or talk to you because you read comic books. Never in my life.
Exactly.
Now, other things, sure, but never because of a comic book. If anything, they actually liked that I could draw and I could draw these characters. So that was it. So once again, I don't know what you went through. I'm not going to talk about your struggle. I just know for me in my house, I've never had that problem.
He said, as for me in my house.
I'm just saying, I've never had, I'm trying to remember, even in elementary school.
Doing, Morgan? What are you doing?
Oh, you know what he's talking about. You got to read between the lines, man.
I'm trying to.
I know what he's saying. He's trying to say it and not get us.
I'm just saying.
He's saying he got a personal problem.
I'm just saying, bro. You know what I'm saying?
All right, listen.
I bet you
that is the opinion of Morgan.
You know what I'm saying?
That is the opinion of Morgan right there. Morgan Iverson.
It's that type of energy. Is all I'm saying.
I'm just saying that if I were you, I think that type of energy. Listen, we black men, we got to deal with our issues. You got to deal with your stuff.
You need to deal with that issue.
Got to deal with that. That has got nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah,
got to deal with that. That's you.
They got surgeries for it now. So
I'm not talking about that.
What?
Let's go and do the list, man. Let's go to the list before.
I know I was late, but it's 8:50. Y'all know.
Man, listen, man. You're not about to rush us. You come in here late.
You're not about to come for a fool.
What you're not about to do is rush us.
Anyway,
since you decided.
Anyway, I don't remember who went first last week. We got into Top Gun a little bit earlier. Next week, y'all, you go watch Honk for Jesus, save your soul, so that we can have a full breadth of conversation. I'm very much so looking forward. I may actually do it on my page or like a special show. I think that movie has enough meat on the bone to make that it needs a good size. Conversation.
I heard that it was not. I heard that it was. It of course, as for us, it's going to be more impactful. But for people who aren't in the black church, they might not get it. And the people that I heard outside of the community who saw it, they said that it was very repetitive. That it started as a short film, and it should have stayed a short film. But
no, I think it went to a place. It went to a darker place that I think people weren't expecting it to go to. Like
he's smoking coke, like he was doing. Like,
no, I mean I don't want to ruin it for nobody, but it was.
It was.
No spoilers.
It just went to a darker place than I think people. Like I was reading online that people brought their kids to this movie, and I was sitting there going, "Whoa,
yeah, that's crazy."
Oh, gosh,
your kids need therapy now.
You said it's on Paramount Plus, or is it what is it on?
Peacock.
Peacock. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out.
You can get a month membership. Right now it's $213 with that.
I'm legit interested in hearing what Danny thinks about this movie.
I got Peacock.
I'm afraid.
Wait a minute. They don't.
There's no nudity in the movie, Danny.
There are no demons saying.
No demons in the movie.
I mean, you could see people as that you might think are a demon, but there are no active demons in the movie.
Check it out.
No.
I just need my 2 checklists. I just need my 2
checklists.
That's a doggone shame, man.
I can't, man.
Danny, go ahead, man. Give us your list, man.
Yeah, who's first?
I'll go first. Yeah.
Again, so we're doing top 5 college movies. I want to make
sure. Is Jimani gone? You want to move him out?
He said he had to take care of something. I responded to him on the private chat. He's got a list. He can get it in.
You can take him off with him. Yeah. So my top 5 college movies, and y'all know, usually, when I do the.
Why you always gotta do a disclaimer?
Because that's how I do. That's my weekly thing. I'm gonna talk through my process. I don't usually be going, deep diving into like, okay, let me look through top 10 lists and all this stuff. I go straight from the brain. All right. So my list is gonna look kind of weird as usual. As usual, my list is gonna look kind of weird because these are just the movies that I thought.
You're gonna have like 14. You're gonna have all Disney movies.
No. I did think Monsters University because that was like I had a hard time thinking of movies that had to do with like school.
That's why you Google it. That's why you Google it to remind you to jog your memory.
He tell himself some type of lie to keep the carrot in front. You know what I mean? So
I don't like to do it. I mean, and I do go through like once I've made my list, I do go and Google some stuff. But my list is my list. Right? Time
out. No. You don't get to just say that. And it's just keep it going. No. So it's okay for you. Time out. It's okay for you to Google after you made your list, but not before.
Yeah, because I need to be prepared for y'all's arguments. I need to be prepared for y'all's stuff. Like I need to be prepared for. There's no way I can be prepared for a Tijuana Jackson. There's no way I can be prepared for that.
You still ain't watched it, have you?
What? No, I still
haven't watched it.
I ain't going to.
Exactly. Shut up.
But I need to be prepared.
Go on and give you a list, man.
I'm a true professional. All right, so my number 5 is Old School. Like Old School is a classic to me. It's a comedy. Will Ferrell, you my boy Blue. Like that's something that you can still quote, to this day. And it was a funny movie. It was a good movie. It had heartwarming things about older guy going back to school. So
Frank the Tank.
Old school on my number 5. My number 4, your boy Nick Cannon, Drumline. That thing on Drumline still to this day. I know it's not the greatest movie, but it was impactful. Like,
That's
Whatever.
that's
I like
false.
that movie. It's classic.
yeah,
There's nothing wrong with Drumline at all.
Nothing wrong with it.
I love Drumline. All right. My number 3, the Great Debaters. Denzel Washington, um, dang on Forrest Whitaker. Very, very good movie. It's
Nick
it's
Parker,
not
don't do that.
it's not Nate Park.
Nick
It's
Parker,
not one that I've gone back and watched a million times, but I remember it
run
being
the smoke
very
up.
impactful. I
Why
definitely
he get mad when you say Nate Parker, man? Like,
that's his.
there's a lot of people in the movie, man.
Well, yeah, there's a lot.
I'm naming them.
Number
What up,
two,
Bishop?
Good Will Hunting. Still one of my favorite Matt Damon performances. And him and your boy, dang, what's his name from The Accountant? Ben Affleck. The conversation that they have, just opens. And number 1, Bobby Boucher, the water boy, the water boy. Bruh, I can watch that movie all day, every day. The water boy, Bobby Boucher.
You got the Water Boy over.
You got like barely college movies, man. You got like
They
2 or
all
3
they all
like
college
barely
movies.
college. Oh,
My
Water
dude-
Boy is
My
barely a
dude put
college
Water
movie.
It's a
Boy
college
on-
football
on
movie.
Drumline,
It's
bro.
barely a college movie.
No,
It's
it's definitely a college
football
movie.
It's barely though. Like they
Whatever.
don't talk about being on campus.
He was in the
They
class.
don't.
No, he was
Alright.
in the
He
class.
was on campus.
The
All right,
whole
all right.
the
All
whole
right,
thing
all
was
right,
gonna
all
be
right.
in
I
class.
said, hey,
Football
listen.
is the devil,
Hey,
Yeah.
all right, I'll go.
All right.
right.
Javon. Wait a minute.
So since Danny does his disclaimer, I'm gonna do my disclaimer too.
Here we go.
This is like one of the first lists that I really was just like, I'm doing my favorite. Like, forget best. I'm gonna do my favorite. But it's kind of best anyway. So,
All right.
but there are going to be a couple of them, and you're gonna be like, okay, that's his favorite. Number 5. Listen, this movie made me want to go to college so bad. I promise you. House
American
Party
Pie.
2. This movie made me want to go to college so bad.
Okay.
It was such a good movie for me when it
I
comes to
haven't seen
like
House
college
Party in a
movies.
minute, but I definitely remember.
Pajama Jammy Jam, bro. Pajama Jammy
I do
Jam.
remember that. And the dance off.
Oh
That's
my
what it-
god.
Wait, did
Come
the
on.
do,
No,
the,
not the dance off. No,
Dance
they
Off
did a
was
dance off in it. They did a dance off in it. They did.
Go ahead.
Ain't gonna hurt nobody. Yeah.
House Party 2 was the one with Queen Latifah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, number 4, Drumline.
Drumline,
Much
yeah.
been said. That to me was like a really good, like black college movie too. Like really good black college movie. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Revenge of the Nerds. That to me, growing up, that was one of the really good college movies. Everything that goes. I mean, there's just so many, one-liners coming out of that. So I'm not gonna go
I've
through
heard
it.
of that one. I don't think I've seen it, but
Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah,
I have
You never? Oh my god!
that's one of the older ones, man.
84, bro.
Ah, once again, Morgan doesn't watch movies.
I wasn't
That-
born. I wasn't
I was
even.
born in 84.
that weren't. So what?
When did that movie come out? The 90s?
So what? I was born in 80.
I would have been like 70.
81,
I would have
excuse
been
me.
like 7 or something.
No,
You
it
can't
came
go
out
back
in
and watch
1984.
movies. They come on
No.
again,
Why would I go back
Movie
to watch
came
that
out
movie?
in 1984?
What'd you say?
See?
There you
The
go.
movie came
Right,
out
I was
in-
4 years old. I didn't see it then, but I've seen it.
Why would I go back to watch that movie?
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm not
Well,
going
I've
to do
heard
this again.
it's a classic. I've heard.
I'm not going to do this again.
I've heard of it.
Number two. Once again, another movie that had me so amped to go to college, even though the ending would make me run screaming from it. Higher Learning.
Oh,
Higher Learning.
man.
I love
That's a good
love
one.
Higher Learning, dude.
I didn't think of Higher
Let me
Learning.
see
That-
your
that was
ID.
classic. That's a
Let me
classic right there.
That's why you go on Google to remind you of these
Man, I didn't
movies.
think of that one.
Anyway, but yes, Higher Learning, Mr. Williams, all that. Yeah. And then, of course, number one, you got to go with School Days. I don't know how you're not going to go with School Days, quintessential college movie, especially black college movie. So
That's the Spike Lee.
that's Spike Lee joint.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen School Days.
Oh, geez.
All right.
I don't know how I'd be having these movie discussions and y'all ain't
No.
seen these movies. Man.
I made it a point to go back and watch all Spike Lee stuff, and that's just one of our.
Yo, Imani got jokes, yo. Imani got jokes. Morgan probably did start watching R-rated movies until his late 20s.
Probably didn't, but
You're not far off. You're not far off,
did.
Imani.
So,
I could
You
not.
didn't start watching. Wait, time out. Wait,
I could not watch those type of movies growing up.
You didn't start watching R-rated movies until your 20s?
Yeah, until I was out of the military. Like after I went to the military, it was 18, 19.
Oh my gosh.
Came back, started, and I was married at 20. I was married at 21.
Polo Tink Tink.
Hey.
So for me,
so sorry for you.
And then I had kids at 21, so it was all.
You know what? Everything makes sense now. Everything makes sense now.
I got married.
All of it makes sense.
I had children at 21.
All of it. Your growth was stunted. It's okay. It's all right. Your pop culture growth was stunted. It's all right. It's all right. Not your fault. It's not your fault.
So for my number 5, my number 5 is definitely I liked it, but I don't know if people. It's a college movie. Number 5, Happy Death Day. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. That joint was good to me. It was way better than I expected it to be. I watched it on some humbug.
Bro, Happy Death Day?
Yep.
No, okay. All right.
No, sir.
It took place at a college.
No,
you know I like the type of movies. It's a college movie, bro.
That movie was not good. Happy Death Day.
It was a good movie.
I disagree. I liked it.
It was a good movie.
I liked it a lot. The reason this is because it very pleasantly surprised me. I thought it was gonna be trash.
You didn't like Happy Death Day? It was a good movie.
I very much so enjoyed it. Number 5.
I wouldn't call it a college movie. I mean,
it is a college movie,
but it took place at a college.
Campus.
Sure,
it screamed on a college campus.
Okay.
So number 5, Happy.
I knew it was gonna have a movie that came out like 2 weeks ago.
Time Machine.
Oh, what?
That's the one that ended with the time machine.
Yes.
More or less, yes.
Nah,
pretty much. Number 4, Old School. Got to be up there as far as a comedy joint. Will Ferrell is one of my. He makes me laugh, and he could stand there and I'd laugh. So I love him on Saturday Night Live. Every movie he puts out, Frank the Tank, to what I'm saying, all like his great stuff in there. Number 3, Dear White People. I don't know why.
Okay.
Not on anybody's list. I don't get it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Dear White People is a great movie in all ways. The series was also better than I expected.
I didn't think about that one.
The series was also very much so better than I expected. Dear White People is a great film, especially for the culture. Number 2, The Great Debaters. And I really vacillated between my number 1 and 2. The Great Debaters is literally one of the most impactful films for me, especially given the topic of college and what they did. You know what I'm saying? But also the acting in that movie. You got Denzel, Nate Parker, Journey Smollett, Whitaker, all in the same movie, and they all bringing it. It was a phenomenal performance. And the speech that Journey Smollett gives at the first debate, I cry every time I listen to it. The time for justice is always
true
right.
story. Imani's right on that one.
Yeah.
Dear White People is basically higher learning in school days rolled into one.
I would not disagree with that. Number 1 for me, Drumline. It's the
number 1.
Yes. The reason it's number 1 for me is because when I think college movie, Drumline, when I think about a college movie, Drumline is the standard for what I think about for college movies.
He wasn't playing a single note.
Don't matter.
A single beat.
No, he played a little bit. They showed him, like he said, he had to learn a little bit.
All of us know there's things in there that we all know.
Orlando Jones,
one band, one sound,
absolutely amazing in that.
Drumline,
how y'all don't
have
absolutely
my favorite.
How y'all don't have higher learning on y'all list? Let's talk about this.
Drumline.
Time out. You haven't seen higher learning?
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
No.
Higher learning, I saw. I just didn't think of it. That's one I said I didn't think of. That's one I said I didn't think of. I seen higher learning.
You said these damn Nickelodeon kids. I'm trying to tell him, Imani, man. I'm just trying to say, dude.
Drumline did some things for.
No, I got Drumline on my list, but it ain't better than higher learning, dude.
I agree with you. Higher
learning is like like a
Drumline,
quintessential like college film. Like
to me,
they had the scene where
Drumline is.
somebody couldn't afford, like literally they tuition bounced and everything. Like they talked
Drumline,
about
but
everything.
Drumline had
Drumline had the same
a
thing.
lot, bro.
No,
Drumline had a lot. My
Pay
man,
for it
ain't his
either.
tuition on it because he lost his
He got
his
lied-
scholarship.
he lied to get
That
his
wasn't what happened in higher
trying to
learning.
him trying to fall in love with music, him being jealous of his father, like all of that stuff was fighting.
I'm not saying that
Jealous
Drumline
but
ain't a good
bothered by his
movie, but it
father.
ain't better than it's not a better film than Higher Learning.
Maybe not to you, it is to me.
I mean, you know,
When I think about Drumline, it is the quintessential college, especially because time
quintessential
I was at
college school days.
especially at the time because I was at A&T, which they were emulating, of course. You know what I'm saying? they ain't but one, you know.
Hey.
They ain't but one of them, you know what I'm saying. But
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
you know,
I'm sorry I didn't go to an all-black school. I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything about you going to.
I didn't go to HBCU.
I didn't say anything about
I
you.
went to
going
an art school. What do I say?
I didn't. Who said? See, that's some that artist stuff.
No, I'm not even lying. I wanted to go. I tell
stuff.
people all the time. I wanted to go to
Gatekeeper
HBCU.
stuff,
I wanted to. I did.
Did
I wanted to, but no HBCUs had like good art program.
Well, I mean, you should have came and changed that joint. All I know is, like I said, when I
How am I gonna come and change it?
you Javon O. Stokes, boy, you better stop freaking.
Why y'all ain't like
Negro. What am I?
Y'all ain't like
What am I supposed to do at 18 years old?
Blow up? God dang it! You still Javon O.
Well,
Stokes?
I appreciate your, but I wasn't as good as I am now back when I was 18.
I don't care nothing about that.
Y'all didn't like Goodwill Hunting though. Ben Affleck.
I've never seen that.
To me, Goodwill Hunting is like, I don't think of it as a college movie. I know it's a college movie, and I know it takes place on a college campus. Yeah. But to me, it's more like a therapy movie. Like,
I would have put Legally Blonde on there if I had seen it. I've heard how good it is, but I ain't seen it, so I can't put it on there.
Now I know what the O is for. Don't worry about what the O is for. The O is for outstanding.
There you go. Let them know.
Well, that's what the O is for. You learned something about me today, Monty.
Yeah,
it's Omar.
Middle name is outstanding.
Omar.
Omar Stokes.
Oh God, that's
Omarion Stokes.
Don't do that to me, man.
It's too late.
Don't do that to me, man.
Javon Ogletree Stokes.
Ogletree. You know what? No, real talk. No. Time out. When I went to school, there's a dorm called Ogletree. It's SCAD.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not a bad. That's
not
true. Ogletree actually fits.
Otis. No, ain't nobody come to see you, Otis.
That's my uncle's name, man. Otis. That's my uncle's name.
You Otis.
That's my uncle's name, man. That's me and Jamari's uncle's name. But there was a couple that I was almost put Social Network on it.
No.
Why?
I don't know. I haven't even seen it. I was just joking.
Oh, I was gonna say you ain't seen it?
No.
The Facebook
Morgan, you ain't seen the Social Network.
The Social Network's not an old movie. It's not a. That's not an old movie now.
That's like
I had no interest
in the building of Facebook.
Every time.
If I watched a documentary, if it was a documentary, I'd probably enjoy that more. Actually,
every time Morgan, I have a conversation with Morgan about movies. It reminds me that I shouldn't be having a conversation with Morgan about movies
because I haven't seen the Social Network.
Dude, you refuse to see movies after a certain point. You have like biases towards certain movies. Like if you're a real movie person, you watch movies.
Is it a bias or a preference though? Like I have a preference that I'm going to see first. So like everybody that watches the show by this point should know horror movies. If there are black people in it at all, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give it a shot.
I mean, was it not Harvard? Was it Harvard? Yeah, Harvard.
I don't read books. What kind of slander is this? Now the comic thing I can't say anything about. I do read comics.
We're gonna read no comics.
I do read comics.
Listen, I just told this fool that he needs to learn some of the names in the industry that he trying to join. Like I'm telling names. I'm like Jim Lee, and he's like, I don't know who that is. I'm just saying, like, how do you try to work in comics and you don't know who Jim Lee is?
That's why me and Morgan partners.
That is no excuse, man. That's no excuse, dude.
I handle this outside stuff, and Danny handle the inside stuff.
Nah, that is no excuse, man. You need to learn
It
about the
is.
industry that you're trying to work in.
I am learning.
That'd be
I
like
know.
trying to be a singer in R&B, and you're like, "Who is Stevie Wonder?" Oh,
Who's
Okay,
Eric
if you can
Benet?
sing your tail off, it don't.
wait a minute, time out. Please tell me you ain't just say Eric Benet.
Eric
I
Benet,
said
I'm
Stevie
not
Wonder,
lying.
and the first name that came to your mind was Eric Benet.
I'm just saying, like Eric Benet is a legend.
No, Amani, no, I don't. And
That's
how
a
many times I
doggone
need to say
shame,
this?
dude. That's a
I-
doggone
Why is
shame.
that a shame?
What, Eric
Because
Benet?
you're trying to work in comic books.
Yeah, you should definitely know who Jim Lee is. Like,
At least you should know who Jim Lee
now.
is.
I know now.
He is
No, if I
literally
didn't
like
know
the
who
most.
Stan Lee was,
He's
I
one of
could
the most
understand.
powerful men in the industry. You should at least
and I
know
have
who
to-
Jim
right
Lee
now,
is.
at this very moment, he's
At
probably
this very
top
moment,
top five most influential.
like
top five most
legitimately
powerful
top five
game
most
right now.
influential.
I-
He ain't 5 or
I have
4.
nothing.
He's
I have
definitely
nothing but
top five.
respect.
He ain't 5 or 4.
I have nothing but respect for it. I just,
Do you know who Todd McFarlane is?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I was
Wally talks about Todd McFarlane all the time, so he definitely knows that.
I-
Jim Lee
Okay,
did
all right.
the classic Superman standing on the like the side, Superman standing with the cape.
Forget even that X-Men, dude. He's literally the X-Men artist.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know writers in the industry?
Y'all taught me
You know
about
who David Walker is?
Y'all taught me about Christopher Priest.
You know
we
who
met
David Walker is?
We met David Walker. He knows who that is.
Yes, I met David Walker. Bitterroot, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I met David Walker. I met we met Steel Freeze, but I know he's not a writer. He's an artist.
Yeah,
That was an art.
Okay.
That was an honor to meet him. That's all.
But you gotta learn who these
if you
people
expect
are,
me to
man.
snap my finger and all that crap, you're mistaken.
But you trying to be in comics.
Yeah, he's
That's
trying to
what I
learn.
said
He's
or
trying
not.
to learn. He's trying
Did
to
you
like
hear what I
every
said
time
or
we
not?
go to his.
That ain't the way he talking.
Yes,
yeah,
I
I
know
know
who
who
Rodney
Rodney.
Barnes
Do
is.
you know who Rodney Barnes is?
I do know who Rodney Barnes is.
Okay.
Yeah, Philadelphia. That's.
Apparently,
I
at least you know the black people.
Oh, man,
At least
what's
you know the
going
black
on?
people.
He's not trying to. I don't think he's trying to. Just like with the movies, he's not trying to go back and learn people who he don't want to know. He don't want to know the people who came before.
Morgan, do you know who Alan Moore is?
No.
Bruh,
Y'all
you
call him
literally
Moore.
loved one of his. You literally loved something that was a brainchild of his.
That's what's up. I'm very
Watchmen.
happy for
That's
him.
why. Yeah, that's the
You
one.
gotta
I'm
learn,
I'm
man.
very
You gotta
happy
learn,
for him,
dude.
and I have a lot of respect.
That's how
for
you
him.
get better. That's
But
how
again,
you get better
Alan
at your craft.
Again,
Moore
I'm
is
going
like
to say it again. If you expect me to snap my
Alan
fingers
Moore
and learn all this
has
shit,
more
I'm not
movies than most like comic book creators have, like
gonna-
at all.
What up, Kenny?
You
What
gotta,
up,
you gotta
Kenny?
learn your craft.
He did
man.
V for Vendetta too, though.
V for
Why are you
Vendetta,
saying
League of
that?
Extraordinary Gentlemen, From Hell,
That's awesome.
Watchmen.
He
I'm trying to
definitely
think
don't
of
know Mark
That
Wade.
dude's a monster.
He definitely don't know
Mark Wade. You got to know who Mark. Like these are people who you should know at least the
Bro,
name.
how many times am I gonna have to say this? I've said it like 5 times.
You're not
God
gonna-
Almighty! I am not going to snap my fingers and suddenly know things. It's not going.
I'm giving
Oh,
we
you can
giving you
stop saying it.
names to
I
like.
appreciate
Okay,
that.
now go
Thank
figure
you.
out who these people are. Go read some of their work.
I will.
You should know. You should know
Thanks.
Frank Miller. You know who Frank Miller is, right?
I do know the name before. I just cannot directly attach it to what
Sin
he's done.
City 300. You love 300.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
I'm telling you, I'm
Batman Year
helping
One.
you out.
Batman Year One. Frank Miller.
Batman: The Dark Knight Return. We helping you. You said you can't attach your name, so I'm giving you stuff to attach your name to.
I said
I think there's 25. We're gonna come up with a list for Morgan. We're gonna come up. There's
That's a good idea. We need to come up with a list of 25 people that Morgan needs to know and read their works.
These are 25 people. We about to be gatekeepers now. These 25 people you got to know if you're gonna work in comics. We about to gatekeep this list.
And this isn't me gatekeeping. This is me talking
Wait a minute.
about.
See,
This is
I
me
don't
talking
even know- I
about.
don't know who Peter David is.
Huh?
Who's Peter-
Yeah,
who's
you do.
Peter?
You know Peter David. He did the Incredible Hulk, the X Factor.
Spider-Man
Trying to think of other runs. He was a Spider-Man writer for a very long time.
Oh, X Factor, Peter David. Okay.
Spider-Man 2099. He was one of the creators of that. Trying to think of other
Hey,
stuff.
I got a prediction I wanna put out there right now. before
What's
our
the
next
prediction?
show. I think they're gonna announce World War Hulk this weekend at D23. I don't know if it's gonna be a movie or a TV series, but they are dropping too many hints in this show. They've connected.
Larry Stroman, that's a good name.
You know, he got it. You got to know. Larry Stroman is heavy on Facebook. He got to know who that is. But I believe
have you guys met him?
I never met him in person, but I did send him a message about doing some art.
He's a nice guy. He actually bought my book.
He seems nice.
This is my Larry Stroman story, real quick.
I know a fool Richardson.
I will give you my Larry Stroman story real quick. So I saw him, like I went up to him and I talked to him at his table, and he, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, yeah, I got to go back to my table. He's like, oh yeah, you over there? I was like, yeah, cool. So I go back to my table, maybe like 20-25 minutes come by, and he come over and he's like, oh, so this your book? Yeah, and I start doing. I normally just break into my spiel about my book. And he's like, man, I don't want to hear all that. Just give me that book and let me get out of here. He just bought my book and took off.
Just give it to him.
He just took off, man. But I saw him in Boston. He remembered me. He's still a nice dude, nice guy. I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, look.
This is what you gotta get. This is where your networking gotta come in. That's why you gotta remember the names, man.
I don't have time to network because Danny leaves the table all the time, and I have to sell things. That's what happens.
I'll be out there networking.
You're supposed to take turns, man.
Ain't no Morgan don't like to leave the table. He just ain't gonna do it. So
why you don't like to leave the table, Morgan?
Because I'm there to sell comics.
Nah, man, you there to sell comics and network.
That's why I be trying to tell him he don't want.
Especially if you had a big con.
All right, well, bet we both gonna leave the table and it's gonna be open.
Nah, y'all supposed listen, man. Y'all should have no excuse. It's both of y'all at the table. Y'all should be able to all right, I'm gonna go walk and talk and everything.
I've said that to him. I've said it to Morgan every time. Hey, I'm going for a second. I come back. You go on, do your thing. Go on. It's plenty of people around here to meet and network with. You never know who you're gonna run into.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean sometimes, but like right. I make a purpose. Like it's a purpose for me.
I know. I do it frequently. even if I'm at my table by myself, I'll just walk around real quick for like.
I gotta do it.
I did it at this last con. I'm gonna go and see my people that I already know, and if I run into somebody that I don't know, I'm definitely gonna holler. Like I said, talking to Steel Freeze was amazing. I mean, meeting him in person because he was just out there.
It's crazy because like when we did this last show, and we literally had people come. Like Stephanie Williams' nephew, literally like he spent the whole show hanging out with us. Like all 3 days, he was just hanging out.
Her little brother.
And then like Greg would come over and just hang out, and David Walker was literally just standing at our table for like 20 minutes. We just talking about
stuff. Talked to him for a long time.
Like that's like the dopest thing because now we don't gotta leave. We can still talk to people, but
you gotta reach a certain point to get there. That you gotta,
Yeah. Listen, so that's kind of dope.
I feel like Danny quietly just said how much he loved big cons. Like I don't know if any of y'all caught that. But I think Danny very quietly confirmed that he actually does like big cons.
He does.
I didn't say I didn't like him. I never said that I didn't like big cons.
Actually, you did.
I said that
specifically did.
He didn't say he doesn't like him. He just said
that if you believe that you're going to go there and sell out your books just because you got one, you scamming yourself. It's a scam for indie creators is what I said. But that don't mean I don't enjoy it.
I mean, you can sell out your book there. I mean, if you put in the work.
Yeah. Hey, okay. It don't matter to me,
bro. I've sold out my book at Big Con.
You Javon Stokes though.
I appreciate the way y'all talking about my name. It didn't come. What'd you say?
You left the O out. Javon
outstanding. But I mean, not my first time. My first time I didn't sell out, but I have sold out. I mean, the promise is never there. Like I don't know where you got that from.
Who's Junie Ba? I ain't never heard of him.
I have no idea.
I know Greg Pak though.
I know Greg Pak.
World War
Greg Pak. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it for so many times. God dang it! I'm not y'all. If you do this list of people with 25 things in time, I will get to it. I will learn what they will revere them for it and give them all the respect in the world. I hope to meet them in person. But I'm not gonna snap my fingers and all of a sudden come up with it. That's not gonna happen.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here.
Just take the time, man. That's all I'm saying. Like
I've been taking my time, and that ain't good enough. You still
I'm
Both of
giving
your
you
guns.
names that are important names for you to know. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm helping.
Man,
I'm
whatever.
teaching.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm teaching. I'm
And I
giving you
appreciate
names of people who are big in the industry, especially like
What up, Jeremy?
the story monster in the house.
That's my boy. That's my boy Jeremy Roden.
What's good?
I hope
What's
I
good?
pronounced the last name right.
We we got time if you want to get into it.
What, the Honk for Jesus? I mean, we can. I'm willing to have multiple conversations
Hold on,
about
I'll be right back.
it.
Go ahead, get it going, get started.
I don't know who's seen it or not, so I don't want to. I guess I'll start. I don't know. Like, has anybody seen Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul yet? It just came out this last weekend, so if you haven't, I understand. I'm just asking so I know like whether we doing spoilers or not. I said I won't do spoilers. If I haven't seen it, but get into it because I don't care about spoilers. Okay. It is not free. It's on Peacock. It's on Peacock right now. You can see it for, they got a membership like $1.99, like free trial thing like normal, and then it's like $4.99 after that. It's absolutely worth watching. Okay, Jeremy, all right. For me personally, it is a must-see film, especially if you grew up in the Black church. It was not what I expected, and that was one of my favorite parts about it. Is that I did not see it coming. What they did with it, I didn't see it coming, and that was a very pleasant, very awesome surprise. And what the things that it's covering, I think, are number one, are visibly present right now within the church and the Black church, especially because of. I'm not saying especially like Black churches do it more than anybody else, but I'm saying it in a way that I say Black church especially because it's dealing with Black characters in this movie. It's very present. It's funny. It's also gritty. I almost don't even want to tell you that it's gritty because I don't know anything. There's a scene in there that was so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna spoil it. There was a scene that was so well done, and so uncomfortable.
That makes sense, Kenny.
I hear it was loosely by Eddie. Come on, man. I'm trying not to spoil things. Here y'all go. God, dog, bro.
I think the movie takes a hard right,
It should.
but I don't think people expected the hard right.
I didn't. That's why I enjoyed it. That's why I like Nope. One of the biggest reasons I love Nope is because I did not see the twist coming. I had no idea.
But it's not really a
That was
twist
great.
though in this movie though. It's more like a tonal shift. Like
Yes,
it's
but
like
they
the
built
movie is
to it.
really playful in the beginning and it's very comedic in the beginning. And
But
then there's a point in the movie where it literally takes a hard right or hard left, I should say.
but they're laying the groundwork for it the whole time, like from the very beginning.
Right.
Yeah, they're laying the groundwork for what it's actually about. I love with Regina. Because that's one of the biggest aspects. God, I wish y'all had seen it, bro. There's so much in this movie that I want to talk about because they're attacking so many different conversations within the church and especially the Black church. They're attacking so many different things and they're attacking some very difficult topics. Conversations that I've had on my page multiple times in the last 5-10 years. Honestly, from time to time, I've had a lot of these conversations on my page. Either through open inquiry, just asking people what they think about certain things, spiritually, physically, emotionally, whatever. I've had these conversations on my page. So, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to spoil anything, Imani.
I don't need to spoil nothing. I
Huh?
think I've met pastors like him before the left, I should say.
What? Say it again.
I've met pastors that are very much like him before the left, before that hard left turn. Because I
Okay.
don't want to,
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
but I've met a lot of them that are like
See, that's
him.
what I'm saying. If the hard left turn is what I'm thinking you're talking about, I don't think that was a hard left turn at all. I think
I'm
it was.
talking about the shift in the tone of the movie. That's what I'm saying. It was playful and funny, and then it hit a point where it wasn't funny anymore, and it was
There,
kind of sad.
yeah, but there are scenes that were soul shaking. More than that, but one of them is extremely uncomfortable. It was extremely well done by Sterling and the other and the other actors that were involved. The other scene, towards the end, man, oh my god,
Th-
that was flames. Like, I know she had to be proud of that when she finished shooting that scene. Like, because they got all of the juice out that turnip. It was awesome.
What I love about the movie is that it zeroes in on something that if you've been to church, you are well aware of, and the amount of passive aggressiveness that all church people have,
Yep.
and they do such a good job of that.
Part. Because one of the things, that's why I'm saying, I don't know if I can have this conversation without spoilers, to be honest with you, because there are very important things this movie's covering that I really feel
We
like
can hold off a week. We can hold off.
Yeah, we'll give y'all a week, man, because my heart is literally palpitating right now because there's a very serious and very deep and funny conversation that needs to take place based on this movie, and I feel like this movie is the perfect. This is a film for something that I would shoot for. This is a film in the vein of something that I would shoot for specifically, because like when I created the character, the preacher, that is the reason I created the preacher. I created the preacher to be a personification of the form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. Literally, it's a derivative of that scripture. That's who the preacher is. He has a form of godliness, but denies the power thereof. And I wanted to encapsulate that, personify it, inject things into it. And I know that the preacher will be a gift that keeps on giving for a long time. Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a gift that keeps on giving, but the reason that I created a character. Um, and this movie does a brilliant job, both acting and writing wise, directing wise too. Like they made some interesting choices that I think threw some people off. For me, I enjoyed it. I know one of my friends was telling me that she didn't. One of the things that she didn't enjoy was the way that they were shooting the film. Like she had been just straight acting and not been done almost like a found film type thing. You know what I mean? Like in
Well,
horror.
they kind of went back and forth though.
Yeah, they did. But she was saying she wishes they had stayed with the just strict like narrative. You know what I'm saying? Versus that.
I can see how a lot of like people would be, yeah, it's definitely triggering to some. But I can see how a lot of like people who like devout like church folk
would be offended.
would probably be in on the joke until, like I said, a certain point in the movie. Then they'd be
100%.
like, "Nope, I'm out."
But that's to me. To me, I don't care what the subject is. To me, the things that you are afraid of are breeding grounds for things that you're afraid of. You know what I'm saying? Like for them to
No, I
grow
get
to
it.
places that you can't fight it anymore. And the conversations that are started within this film need to be discussed openly. And I believe that's the person wrote it and directed it. I believe that's why that happened, because it needed to be said. It's a conversation that has to be addressed. It's a conversation that has to be had. And I mean, again, one of the other scenes that got me emotional. I can't wait to talk about this because I want to talk about specific scenes and the power in them. When he's trying to get himself together and gets approached, I'm trying to be cryptic. When he gets himself together and gets approached, and that conversation's had about Easter. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly the scene you referencing.
That scene was powerful, and it's
Yeah.
powerful because of the conversation that's attached to it. because again, I had this conversation.
I want to have this conversation. We can't have this. We can't talk about this.
That's what I'm saying.
Spoil it. We gotta stop.
We can't talk
stop.
about it.
I don't want to spoil it for people.
We can't talk about the spoilers.
Y'all got a week. It's on
y'all
Peacock,
got 1 week.
man.
Y'all got 1 week.
Next get to the theater or you watch Peacock because we're gonna talk about this next week.
And we do have the poster. So next week we're doing top 5
hip hop remixes.
Top 5 hip hop remixes. Yeah,
I know we're ahead of the curve, y'all. You have a whole week.
Kenny, make sure that you are in here next week because I saw you said you want to be here. So make sure you're in here. If you want to come on the show to talk, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. I might holler at Rock and see if she want to come on because she got her own experiences. I don't know if she's seen it yet though, but I'll talk to her.
No, I feel like people who don't like the church, either be triggered or feel validated.
No question
by it.
No question. But that's another reason and another place I want to have a conversation.
But like for me, I've been going to church my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't find the church invalidated by it.
It's not.
But I definitely have been a part of that. Not been. Let me not been.
No,
a part of it.
No, you've seen it.
No. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. I've never. None of the pastors I know have acted like that.
I have seen a lot.
Let me rephrase. None of the pastors that I've been part of
that you're under. None of the congregations. None of. Okay, well, I have seen quite a lot in my time going to church.
Oh,
okay. So I've seen, and I've done it from a congregant side, and I've done it from a leadership side. I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot.
I mean, it's a serious movie.
No, yes, and it's a great conversation, and that's the reason she made this film was to cause the conversation, and God bless her for doing it. I'm very thankful that she made it, and I can't wait to have this discussion. Again, next week we're doing top 5 hip hop remixes. Football is back. 2 days, bro. Football is back.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna hear no Patriots trash talk from me because I have no idea. I have zero idea.
Just gotta wait and see.
I got nothing.
Ain't gonna be no trash talk for me. I'm just gonna watch my squad and play these fantasy teams. Earlier when I was distracted is because I was literally finishing a fantasy draft. I
want to say this: if y'all had a problem with She-Hulk twerking, I'm worried about you.
Oh my God, I'm glad you said.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah,
if you are a man,
we get into that too.
Listen, if you are a man,
something wrong with
you. Let me rephrase. If you are a confessed heterosexual man and you had a problem with it, you might want to check that.
Drop it like a thotty.
You might want to check it. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you might want to check it.
I don't get it. I will be brief. I made a post about it, a swift post about it. I could have went longer, but I didn't. I'll say similar to what I said then. If you didn't like that scene and it bothered you that much, I'm not gonna call cap because I will. If you're saying that you don't like She-Hulk, I'm not gonna call cap because I need to know what you actually like and what you don't like. Because She-Hulk or comic movies series might just not be right. But if you watch the rest of the Marvel series and you think She-Hulk is just trash, I still can't go directly at you because there are people out there that like Moon Knight. I didn't enjoy Moon Knight at all. As a matter of fact, it's probably my least favorite of the series on Disney. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I said I can't immediately call cap on everybody that says they don't like She-Hulk. But I will say that a lot of the hatred that this show gets is because it's a female character in a prominent role, and they're down for that. And when we're gonna go through this again, when the series on Wakanda comes out, we're gonna go through it again. Because if it's dealing with a Okoye leading it, or her right hand that's under her in the door in the door Milaje, they're gonna be upset. There are a lot of incels that are in this world with micros, you know what I'm saying, and they just deal with things in their own private little way, and and they whine and mess up posts online for people. whine some more, and I mean it's pretty bad, and I wish they'd stop.
If you got a
don't have to be
problem
that
with it and you say you're a fan of She-Hulk, you're lying.
I'll call
That's
Captain.
all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I've read She-Hulk books. I got a She-Hulk book right there. I can pull it out.
I'll call
Right
Captain.
there.
I agree with you.
If you say I'm a fan of She-Hulk and I don't like the movie, you like the show, you're lying.
I agree.
If you saying I don't like the show because it's not accurate to the character and to the books, you're lying.
I will just say again, and we'll probably delve back into this next week because we had to deal with the Afua thing tonight. Ain't nobody about to slander Afua in front of me, bro. It ain't gonna happen.
I'm still mad about it.
I still don't think I'm done. Honestly, be honest with you,
I don't think I'm done either.
Yeah, I don't think I'm done. You're not about to slander Afua in front of me, bro. Not there. Nope, ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna message her too and be like, Queen, I don't know who this clown is, but we got your back.
We got you.
Well, I promise you, we got your back. And if it come to fisticuffs, these hands, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody fighting.
I'll fight.
You just want to fight.
I don't want to fight. I'm just prepared to fight. There's a difference.
I'm more of like, yeah, I got Afua's back, but I got, all black women.
Automatically.
If you're trying to make it anywhere, and there's always somebody that's going to be, you ain't done the work or whatever.
Haters, bro.
I'm going to sit here and be like, you're lying.
Malcolm
X was
right. Malcolm X was right when he said the most disrespected in America, period. The world, honestly.
I don't see why she had to be the target for him. Like, you didn't pick the wrong one, sir. You could have picked a lot of people. And like you said, there's some people who folks ain't gonna come running for. This ain't it.
And even in that instance, it would still be wrong, but it's extra wrong because you coming for Afua. And that's,
well, I mean, like if somebody were to say something about me, I don't expect everybody to come.
I feel you, bro. Like if they said it about you, I'd be like, I feel you. You think get on my nerves too. You know what I'm saying? I got to work with this nigga every week,
every day, every week.
We talk every day. Imagine how I feel.
They come for me. I'm okay with that. But she literally one of the nicest people in the industry, man. So that ain't it, man. That ain't it. I'm hoping that all of this is kind of, maybe change his mind. I know he posted an apology. The apology was
okay. Well, if he apologized, I will give that some credence, but you're still not coming for Afua. This goes for everybody. It's not just for him. It's for you. Don't talk trash about Afua around me, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's just not necessary, man. It's just like, why, dude? Like, I get it, man. You worked hard to get in the industry. That don't mean you got to come for people. Like, no, you don't got to come for people, man. Like, let people live their life.
Yep. Like I said, man.
But I will say this, though. I will say this, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I appreciate the amount of people that are coming to back her up. And I'm talking about big name comic book people who are like, nah, we ain't having this, bro.
And we'll all fight for her too. I'm just saying.
What'd you say?
And we'll all throw hands for her. So
I'm just saying, like, I appreciate the amount of people that are coming out and they're like, hey, cut that crap. Like, this ain't it. This ain't the one. And I need to see that more often.
I mean, I know I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody about to come for, you know what I'm saying? Afua, Shauna. I ain't gonna listen to nobody talking crap about Shauna either now.
Yeah, there's way too many. I feel like there's
not in front of me. You're not.
Come on now, what we doing here? What we doing? Like,
you're not about to be talking crap about Shauna around me, cuz nope, I ain't gonna have it. That's why the HBCU con got put on. We're going up there. We're gonna show out. Don't do it.
I'm waiting for that, man. I'm hoping. I'm hoping they do it again.
Shout out to Shauna Lawson, CC the Geek.
Yeah.
My girl Rock. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you're not about to come. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. That being said, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the list. I'm gonna make sure I put the poll up. Did it while we was doing this earlier. I gotta make sure I put the poll up. I might need y'all to send it to me in the inbox. Well, never mind. Let me do it right now. That way I don't have to do it later. Looking forward to the show for the music and also for the conversation. I'm like literally that first 30 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and peg. I'm not. I shouldn't have used that word. I'm going to go ahead and set aside for that conversation because I need as much time as possible to really get into those. And like I said, I still might. And if you want to come on for that, cool. I still might go live on my Facebook joint. I can do it from Restream, but it would be separate. But
Let me know if you do that. If I got
I'm
time,
very
I'll slide
seriously,
through.
I'm very seriously considering it sometime this week. I get Little Man tomorrow after work. I'm off Friday. I'll let you know. Hold on.
Hey, I got so this Thursday, if you go and watch a Stoke podcast, gotta come a little earlier. We doing the 7:00 show. Because I gotta watch football, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I gotta watch football. So we're
Yes,
not doing
sir.
8:00. We're doing 7:00. We're
Yes,
doing 7 to
sir.
8:30. Be right for kickoff. Boom.
Bro, you don't
So
understand.
I just want y'all to understand this is how much I love football. We're gonna go back to 8:00 on Thursdays. I think the only other Thursday we're gonna switch it up for 7:00 again is when the Patriots play. I'm just letting y'all know when the Patriots play, just expect us to be at 7:00.
At least he being honest.
Hey, I tell people the truth, man. Listen, man. I love doing my podcast, but I love football infinitely more.
I don't. I haven't even done my DraftKings lineups yet. Do you understand the salivation that's gonna happen?
I haven't even done it yet. So
Oh my god, bro! When I get ready to do these DraftKings lineups, though, I'm trying to come away with that million for the first week. Are you kidding me?
So I'm gonna make my I'm gonna make my Super Bowl pick right now.
Why?
I'm gonna just do it now. But you go do it before, and then see how it go.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
the poll is getting ready to go down the group.
Out of the NFC, oh, that's hard.
That's why you should have waited.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna say. Out of the AFC, no, I'm not picking the Patriots. We passed that point. They gotta show me. They gotta show me.
That would be very.
I'm gonna say the Los Angeles. No, they're not Los Angeles anymore, are they?
Who? The Raiders?
Yes, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, okay. Chargers.
I'm gonna go Chargers AFC. In NFC, God, there ain't a lot of NFC teams that are worth my damn time.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
I say what I said.
Yeah, you're not about to be slandering us now either.
The AFC is better than the NFC, sir.
We're gonna.
Just telling you what it is.
That was the thought last year too. What happened? Yeah, I rest my case.
I mean, just the entire conference was better than the entire conference of the NFC. Just because the Super Bowl champion came out the NFC, don't mean the entire conference was better.
If you say so.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay.
That's all because Brady.
I mean, yeah. If I had to bet money on anybody,
I'm not making a pick this early. I will say that I think Minnesota breaks through this year. I don't know if they're going to make
Minnesota.
I think they're going to break through this year.
Break through what?
They always on the cusp, and Green Bay beats them. And I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think Minnesota gets. I think Minnesota.
Okay, I can go with that. I can see them winning the division.
I can see them winning the division, and I can see them being very dangerous in the playoffs. Trying to stop Dalvin Cook. If Dalvin Cook's healthy, trying to stop Dalvin Cook is hard enough alone. But then you got to deal with Jefferson and Thielen and Osborne's good too. He got us in our game last year in last second.
Put your money on Kirk Cousins though.
Kirk Cousins been balling, bro. I'm just saying, don't try
I have a friend who's a Vikings fan. Even he wouldn't put money on them doing it.
That's okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm just going by what I've seen. I've seen Kirk Cousins ball. It's like Tony Romo when people used to hate on Tony.
That is an interesting choice.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
similar.
an
But
interesting
Tony,
similarity there.
are we gonna say Tony Romo wasn't balling? He was
I didn't say
definitely
he
balling.
wasn't balling.
All right,
I'm
then.
just saying it's an interesting
All right.
choice.
So the poll is up, y'all. Very much so looking forward to this conversation. If I decide to do a live stream on my page about Home for Jesus, of course I will let Javon know. Like I said, we talk every day anyway. But I will also put it on my page so that you guys can be a part of that conversation. And we'll still discuss it on the show next week for those who might miss it. Of course, it'll remain on my page. I might do it from Restream, so just so
All right, folks, I gotta get out of here. I gotta eat.
just so it saves to the YouTube. We'll see, but I'll let you guys know. I'm looking forward to the conversation, though. Thank you, and as always, please help us get more subscribers. Word of mouth is advertisement there is. Help us get these subscriptions up. We've definitely grown a lot, you know what I'm saying, in the last year, subscriptions wise. Some of that is from the show, and we thank you guys. Thank you for that. And some of it, you know what I'm saying, Danny's TikToks and carrying over the other stuff that we post. If you're in North Carolina, please go book to go see that escape room because my boy, his wife, my sister destroyed that, man. Like it looks so good. I am so proud of them, man. I'm not gonna stop saying that. I'm so proud of them. They killed that, man. Like seriously, it looks really good. And if you look at the shop before it was there to now, like it, you know what I mean? The shop looked amazing regardless. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of hard work that was put into that. And being able to idea for the escape room, being able to put together the puzzles, you know what I'm saying, hand making everything in there, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and putting everything together. It's not just the coordination of the construction of things, idea that goes by that precedes the construction and then putting everything together. So y'all please, man, book going to that escape room, man. It's gonna be fun. I promise you. I went in there myself. And as more people go, it just gives space to upgrade it and make it even more dope for other people. Halloween's coming up. I hope we get a lot of bookings for that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do what I can to promote that. Little man has been doing much better, man. And me and his mom are eternally thankful for that, and just continuing to pray that he's continues to do as well as he's been doing. One, so me and his mom don't have to be stressed all the time worrying about him. We hate, but seeing him to have that beautiful smile on his face. He's got one of the sweetest dispositions on the earth. So seeing that be messed with at all because he doesn't feel well sucks. I know that if as parents, you know what I'm saying, seeing your kid sick sucks, especially when you can't do anything about it. So having him feel well, man, means everything. And it gives me, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more, a little trepidation about going and doing extracurricular thing. That's why I've been shut down for the last 3 months. I ain't really been able to do too much of anything because little man's been struggling. So thank y'all for listening as always, man. Help subscriptions up. Make sure you go vote in the poll. It's up in the group right now, Top 5 Live Nation on Facebook. If you haven't already joined, we're at 290 members now. We should be at next week, man. We can make that happen easy. Y'all just help spread the word. We love y'all, man. Thank you. Next week, hip hop remixes. Can't wait to do that joint and get into the conversation. Honk for Jesus. Love y'all. See y'all. Peace out.